Hi, and welcome to the Global Education Group's CME video blog, where we address emerging hot topics on the CME enterprise. Today we're going to talk about the impact of two recent ACCME leadership actions. The first action was a letter to the editor to the Journal of the American Medical Association by ACCME Chief Executive Murray Coppola. This was in response to some JAMA articles that demonstrated some real ignorance about the CME enterprise. The issue at hand is that a group of authors led by David Rothman, a PhD at Columbia, and JAMA's editorial board continues to confuse accredited medical education companies with a completely different group of organizations, marketing communication companies. As a reminder, accredited medical education companies are those that develop unbiased, evidence-based education for physicians, whereas marketing communications companies work directly on behalf of pharmaceutical, medical device, and other companies and develop advertising and promotional work. In his letter to the editor, Dr. Coppola wrote, "The claim by Rothman and others that accredited medical education companies are performing marketing services for industry maligns an entire segment of accredited CME providers." JAMA's confusion on this issue really is inexcusable. I mean, this would be akin to confusing JAMA itself with People magazine and then claiming as fact that JAMA does not peer review its own articles. And while that statement isn't true, JAMA's editorial board and its recent publications have demonstrated a real flair for tabloid journalism, and it was really nice to see Dr. Coppola call them out on that issue. A second action by the ACCME that we'll talk about is the ACCME board's decision recently to ban corporate logos. At its most recent board meeting, the ACCME voted to ban the logos of commercial interests, which are many of the organizations providing CME grants, and to ban those logos in educational materials as well as disclosure of commercial support in accredited CME. While it was well intended, the ACCME decision on logos was really not well thought out because there could be several unintended consequences. First, it could confuse or anger the learners. The purpose of disclosure itself and providing those corporate logos with respect to accredited CME is to improve transparency. That is, to let the learners know ahead of time that this is being underwritten with grant support from a commercial interest, and to let the learner decide whether or not he or she wants to attend the CME activity. By taking away that logo, we now may confuse or anger those learners because they may not know that they're attending a CME activity that is supported with commercial grant support. Second unintended consequence is overall reduced support for CME. The compliance officers at pharmaceutical and medical device companies may take issue with this recent ACCME decision because, in fact, it decreases transparency in an era when we're trying to all promote transparency, and so that could cause, again, some confusion or consternation among those compliance officers. So in just a short time, the CME community has been able to look at two recent ACCME actions and say thank you for one of those, the letter to the editor of JAMA, but no thanks for the other one, banning corporate logos and harming transparency in the CME enterprise. As always, if you have any questions about this issue or any CME topics, feel free to contact us here at globaleducationgroup.com. For Global, I'm Stephen Lewis. Thanks.